Kalak bites her lip, then nods at you. Lestrel make the preparation. You don't like the sound of this at all. Kalak appears nervous for you, and that's for someone who actually is a wizard, which of course you're not. What preparation? You shout in your mind. Agra laughs. Go on, champion. Prepare the job labor. Prepare it how? You say. How should I know? She says. I'm a trickster godling, not a divination mage. A trickle of sweat forms on your brow. A heat flares out from the orb. Maybe it's getting impatient. As is often the case, Agra does not seem interested in helping. Two ideas come to mind, both risky. I'm not gonna make up the ritual in front of 3 fucking wizards, and not to mention a fucking dragon or whatever. Well, dragon doesn't really matter, but the 3 wizards, so I'm just gonna go up and touch the job labar or whatever the fuck this is. Might be a death check, but no, morale increases too. First, we need to get a feel for this thing, you say to Agra as you stride towards. As you reach up towards the orb, you look over for a moment to see the reaction. Kriya has her hand up to her mouth. Almost all of Drala's eyes are on you, and they're wide. Goldrear is watching you intently, curiously. Lestrel, what are you doing? Says Kalak, throwing up her arms. Don't touch it. Fingers tingle as you near the surface. The orb suddenly shifts from the darkest night to blazing orange, like the sun forcing you to squint. This is unexpected, comes Drala's voice. There was a shout from someone, but when your fingers at last touch the cold crystal surface, suddenly all sound is sucked away. Please do not tell me my fucking illusion got blown away. Please do not tell me my fucking illusion got blown away. The rooster's fucking dead as is. How much deader can he get? Silence. Great, life decreases 3. Then comes a deafening roar, making you scream out. Although you cannot hear your own cry over the din, your muscles spasm, yet you do not collapse, and it is as though you are suspended by cords like a puppet. That the pain starts. Every fiber inside you burns. The roar dies down. You can now hear Agra is groaning at what you believe is pleasure. Really? The roar returns and falls again, rhythmically along with the pain. The orb is alive. You can feel an intelligent awareness. It is, in its unfathomable way, asking you what you want to see. I would like to see Agra and our sister. When we do the the best choices of this chapter, I'm gonna explore all these options. But for now, we're just gonna go with the Nuxius. Show me the wizard Nuxius, you think. Colors swirl before you, even as your eyes are shut tight. The colors begin to coalesce into shapes. Although they are very blurry, a cloaked figure may be surrounded by other people or at least humanoid shapes. Just as quickly as these apparitions form, they become smaller as though you're being pushed away, and then they are gone. Now with nothing but blackness, you notice the smell, mustiness and a hint of rot. The next thing you know, you're on the stone floor with Kalak staring down at you, her wrinkled face further creased with concern. Thank Tachis, you're alive. She says. The fool still breathes, says Drala. Kalak grabs your hand and with surprising strength helps you back to your feet. Neville Scrot, that is quite a toy you have, Drala. You say with a smile, nodding at the orb, which continues to pulse red and orange. Drala laughs metallically. You're the most reckless elf I've ever met. Yes, you have been behaving rather unusually, says Kalak. Did you drink something downstairs? Does Halafergrain give you leprechaun blood again? He better not have. That is forbidden, says Goldtreat. You shake your head as the golden dragon then turns to address anyone. I think I saw Nuxius. Ah yes, you shouted his name. What did you see? Says Kalak. You describe what you saw and smelled as best you can. As before, the wizard is protected from scrying, says Drala. Remarkable that you were able to see anything at all. It is not what he saw that interests me, but what he smelled, says Kalak. It is like the smells below the Temple of Eternal Love, the catacombs. Drala swivels many eyes to the orb. Now that the apprentice has warmed up my scrying stone, maybe we can work together to break through Nuxius' defenses. Drala snaps a finger and a small clump of what looks like hair appears between. I'm guessing if we chose sister, we actually scream sister and they would know. Probably not gonna end well. Drala snaps her fingers and a small clump of what looks like hair appears between her thumb and forefinger from Nuxius when he visited. Really? She kept that? Says Drala. Thankfully I still have enough left for one last try. Perfect, says Kalak. Drala says a strange word and the hair disappears in a small puff of smoke. The witch then begins chanting in the language you now recognize as Draconic. You don't bother asking Agra to translate as you presume the words are boring. I mean, true that. As Drala raises her hands to the orbs, an eye embedded in the back of her left hand focuses on you. Elicting a shiver down your spine. I've never heard that word. Kalak joins in the chant and steps closer to the orb. Meanwhile, Durala's hands slowly, ever so slowly, come closer to the orb until she finally touches it. The red and orange pulses become brighter. "Come, Lestrel," says Kalak, taking your hand in her dry, crinkly one. Before you know it, you're chanting in Draconic. Obviously, this is Egra's doing. Another voice begins chanting. It is Kriya's. "Not you, Sudre," commands Drala in the common tongue. You look back to see Drala's face has fallen. She steps back. You wink at her as you continue to chant. She sees your wink, and instead of the usual pride and defiance you're accustomed to from the young woman, she merely looks down. That wasn't the reaction you hoped for. Somehow you feel a twinge of guilt. Do not feel a twinge of guilt. Fuck her. Fuck that fucking bitch. Fucking hell. Kalak squeezes your hand with amazing strength, making you wince. You turn back, forward, and resume your Egra control chant. Now you're close to the orb. This Jab Labar is pulsing strength and its pulsing strength is nearly overwhelming. Rala removes one hand from the orb, takes your free hand with the other. The eye in the palm of her hand is moist and rubs up against your palm, tickling you. It's all that you can do to keep chanting rather than shout out in fear and disgust. Meanwhile, the impression you have from Egra is amusement, which strikes you as strange. This witch, known for her ability to see all, is touching you with one of her eyeballs. Yet Egra still does not hide. Well, she is not a fucking priest, she's a wizard. Soon you suspect you know why, as you feel power begins to flow from Drala into you. Is Egra sucking strength from her? Suckling strength from? That would be pretty good. Let's see how much favor. 4 favor and the life decrease is nice. Even as you feel strength from Drala, there's now also burning. You gasp as you struggle to keep your mouth and tongue working the strange chant. The orb begins to clear into picture that is blurry at first but gradually becomes clear. Before you is a hood. I'm not doing the best choices of this chapter, but I have 15 fucking favor. Holy shit. I made several good choices, I feel like, in this chapter. The orb begins to clear into picture that blurry at first but gradually becomes clear. Before you is a hooded man standing beside the statue of a severe but beautiful woman with emerald eyes. Below his feet are more statues forming a pyramid below, but it is not the pyramid of statues or even the man standing on top of it that really catches your attention. No, it is the writhing undead that are desperately climbing up the pyramid, touching the cloaked man. After touching him, they leap off the pyramid, flop upon the ground below with a crunch, only to quickly rise up and again stagger off. Although you have never seen undead before, you have seen plenty of corpses thanks to your time in Wellington's army. Many of these appear fresh off the battlefield, some of them missing limbs, others with gaping wounds covered in coagulated blood. Sprinkled with these are undead that are far from fresh. Everything from dried out mummies to bare bone skeletons. When did Eunuxius become... He was a normal wizard. When did he become a fucking necromancer? Fucking hell. It appears to you like the undead are paying the respect to the cloaked man. Is he Eunuxius? He certainly appears to be a wizard, or at least some manner of magic user, because now you noticed how his body glows green. Although his face is young, his expression is sad and tired. Suddenly this man looks up straight at you. His eyes flash bright green and all goes dark. Next thing you know, you're blinking at the Jabla bar, only now it is black and you feel no power from it. As though it is spent, no longer holding hands with anyone, you rub your aching head. Your muscles feel drained. You'd like to sit down, but there is no cheer sight other than the glass throne high above. Drala, that vision was less than comforting, says Kalak. We saw Nerul's temple beneath the temple of eternal love. I'm sure of it. Holy shit, there's Nerul's temple beneath the temple of eternal love? Was that revealed in the first game? I feel like it. I don't know why I have a vague feeling that was the case, but maybe not. Eunuxius is no longer a vampire, yet obviously corrupted, says Drala. He has fallen to necromancy. I have no reports of undead in the city, says Kalak. Drala shakes her head. I have my eyes in all districts. All manner of horrors battle in those streets, but no undead. Not yet, says Kalak. With all the carnage, all those corpses from battle. Enough talk. We must join the fight. Eunuxius must be stopped. I hope to take him alive, yet his power has grown too much for that, says Drala. She snaps her finger and a familiar amulet appears in her hand. Why did she pull that? Appears in her hand. She puts it on. Now the holy symbol dangles over her transparent gown. This is not gonna end well. Without thinking, you pat your tunic and confirm the bulge in your amulet. Drala must be wearing my decoy, you think. Is that wise, says Kalak. If it really is the Alathian godling, it would be best to return it to the Alathians. I have run my divinations on the artifact and I'm confident I can control it, says Drala. Run my divination, Egra echoes mockingly. Galak shakes her head. What I mean is that I expect the Lathians would understand the godling best. Even now they battle evil within the city. Dwala waves dismissively. I was laying waste to armies long before their highest priest was born. This weapon stays with me. Doltrid narrows her eyes. It is not yours to use, Dwala. Do the two of you want to argue, or do you want to engage the enemy before it's too late, says Dwala, her voice testy. After the battle is won, I shall give these zealots their necklace back. Kalak nods to Goldfried. The dragon's golden eyes flash angrily, but he says nothing. Gods, Egra. How long before the witch realizes she is wearing a fake, you say? Oh, I'm projecting a small measure of power to her. By the time she learns that she's wearing useless metal, it will be too late, says Egra. Why would I do that? Give Drala the real pendant? I'm not fucking stupid. Agree that Drala shall get what she deserves. Tell Egra that this is no time for pranks. Well, I'm just gonna agree with her because at this point I don't think there's anything we can do. If Drala shall get what she deserves, you say, you are no weapon to be wielded by the freak for her own glory. No, rather you wish to wield me for your glory, says Egra. I've never been clear on who is wielding who, you say. That is the point of all of this, says Egra. What? You say, but Egra only answers you with laughter. By now, Drala, Kalak, and Goldtrid have gathered near each other in a circle. If they're gonna ride over there and we go as Lestral, this is not going to end well because the real Lestral is partying down there. And if he comes up, we are fucking dead. Kalak motions to you. Come, Lestral. Me? You say, I don't really know how useful. Come here now, commands Kalak, and without thinking you obey, walking swiftly to them. Mother shall go too, says Kriya. Oh, Kriya is gonna stay here and she's gonna find Lestral and she's gonna be like, shit, that was Rooster. Well, that's gonna be hilarious actually, but this is not gonna end well for us, but that's gonna be hilarious. Me too, you say. I really don't know how useful. Okay, yeah, we already did that. No, you stay here, says Drala. You want me to command the tower, says Kriya, a smile beginning to form. No, I leave that to my new apprentice, says Drala. Kriya's eyes widen. Vermal, the dragon? He will not take any responsibility. I don't even think he's on your side. Drala chuckles as she snaps her fingers. The massive brass dragon you met earlier appears. He smiles with his large teeth. Immediately he nods to the gold dragon. Goldtrid, it's good to see you. Goldtrid nods back formally. Vermal, you look well. The exertion of the hunt does me well. I finally caught a troll. No good for eating, but... Vermal, you're in command of the tower, says Drala, cutting off the dragon. Oh? The dragon smiles larger. Well, this is interesting. Priya scowls at the dragon, making you smile slightly, despite whatever dangers are in store for you. Prepare, says Drala. Kalak points at Goldtrid, who suddenly shrinks and turns into a golden figurine like the one he had been before. Kalak picks up the figurine with one hand, grabs your hand with the other. There's a swooshing noise in your stomach, tumbles as all goes dark, and you feel yourself falling fast. Shit, are we teleporting? The next thing you know, you feel cool wind on your face. You're under a blue sky. You're on your back, and a rock is poking into your shoulder. A blood-curdling scream is just now dying. What? A blood-curdling scream is just now dying on your lips. Oh, because we were screaming when we fell down. Get up, Lestral, hisses Kalak. You act as though you've never teleported before. Don't act so out of place. I know it's new sensations, but goddamn, keep your fucking act together. We're gonna get fucked up. Quickly, you recover and get to your feet. You're on a tall hill covered with stumps and tall grass. You suck in the breezy air. You try to recover, but then your breath catches as you look to your right. Behold a massive dragon of gold standing only a few meters away. I feel like there's loads of death checks in this one. Behold a massive dragon of gold standing only a few meters away. He has long, smooth horns that sweep back and intricate, fine scales that make up his hide, more beautiful than any armor you've seen. The dragon is flexing his huge wings that reflect the sun while swirling air around. For some reason, I felt like it was night time because we went in when there was like, I feel like it was evening or something. So I just assumed that it was nighttime, but okay. Drala stands beside the dragon. The dragon must be Goldtrid. His eyes resemble what they look like in the human form, only larger. He is staring off into the distance. You follow his gaze. Far off is what must be the ring city, just like before. There are flames and strange flashes of light. Much of the city, particularly in the outer ring, is smoking ruins. Flying creatures wheel above the city with large wings. Many appear as insects from here, but must actually be size of men or larger. There are dragons too. One spits forth a sheet of red fire, strafing the city below. Fucking hell, what is this? Dracarys bullshit. Not more dragons, you gasp. No offense, you quickly add, nodding to the gold dragon. Actually, it's demon lords that are actually to blame, says Rala. Unfortunately, the fiends have put up wards around the city that block us from teleporting in. From here, we travel the old way. Kalak puts on her mask, which swiftly melts to her face, and within a second, she's a man. She appears as you remember when you first lays eyes on the Duke's wizard, a handsome younger man, clean-shaven and a chiseled face. Both cheeks, his lips, nose have golden piercing. This time you notice a metallic sheen to her face. Magical armor, you wonder? Dwala, it is wise for your child to leave the city when she did, says Kalak, her voice now deeper like a man's. As she stares at the unfolding battle in the distance. Perhaps you should not hate the gods so much now that Aletheia may have saved your girl. More like my daughter saved the godling, says Dwala, grasping the holy symbol on her chest. Aletheia's enemies would have sensed the godling and stopped at nothing to destroy her. Now around my neck she will be put to good use. Even now she speaks to me, urging me to battle. Ekra chuckles inside you. Climb aboard, says the dragon, his voice the same as his humanoid form but a bit louder. I hope you memorize your battle spells as I warned you to, Lestral, says Kalak. You nod vaguely as you grasp the hilt of your sword and prepare to climb onto the back of the dragon. Should we pull out our sword and just backstab the bitches? I mean, that's probably not, considering our boy's skill, he probably only end up backstabbing one of them and the other one will kill us, and not to mention I don't even know if they will die from a backstab, but we'll see. Fucking hell, that was a chapter. Oh, highest rank for chapter 16. I actually got it on my own. We got 530. We got exactly 530. 1 point below, and we would have ended up in Cunning Rogue. We actually got the highest score in this chapter without me having to look up what the best choices of this chapter are. Fascinating. We're still going to do the best choices because I want to explore some options. But fucking hell, that chapter went precisely in the best direction it could possibly gone. I will have to say, story-wise, that chapter did not go well in any way, shape, or form. Supremely anxiety-inducing. Our boy is childish. He is way too show-offy. He's just annoying in general. Some good moments of Kriya getting shut the fuck up, but other than that, didn't really get too much done. I would love to kill her at some point, honestly. I mean, considering the list goes on and on, I would love to kill a lot of them, but we'll see by the end of this if the game even allows us to kill one of them, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. The link in the description to the game. There's also a link to my Twitter and my Patreon. Go follow me over there, and yeah, see you guys in the best choices of this chapter. Bye bye.